good morning wherever you are joining us from. I am Elizabeth Akifenwa, and thank you and welcome to my live video. Apparently, this is also my first YouTube live and our first webinar of 2026. Thank you once again for joining us. If you permit me, I'll be checking my notepad so that we will flow very well in the course of this webinar, and I promise we will have an amazing time. If you have been following my posts for the past few days, ever since I announced there is webinar, the topic is from fear to fluency, the path to confident speaking, the real path to confident speaking, from fear to fluency. So you will know that today we are talking about transformation. Today we are talking about how to move from one stage to another. And today this session is not going to be about we pronouncing we should be loud, or we saying that we should be perfect, or we saying that we should be dramatic. No, that is not what confident speaking is all about. It's not about that. That is why I even tell my clients, confidence is not lack of fear. No, it isn't. I'm not going to lie to you. Confidence is not lack of fear. Confidence is speaking despite that fear. So we are not going to just bamboozle you or tell you you are going to be 100% perfect. You are going to be loud. No, we are not here to change your personality. No, we aren't here to do that, because I tell people, whether you are an introvert, whether you are an extrovert, all of us have tendencies to become confident speaker, no matter the kind of personality that you are. So it is important for us to have that at the back of our mind, so that we will not be deceived and think, oh, because I am shy or because I am quiet, I cannot be a confident speaker. That you are quiet doesn't mean that you cannot speak confidently, even with that your calm voice. So having said that, this webinar is for you if you have ever frozen while you are speaking before. Look back. Has there ever been a time, maybe you were in a meeting, you were randomly called, and you couldn't just articulate your thoughts at that point? Or you even prepared for a particular presentation. It can happen. You really prepared for that presentation, but unfortunately, you flopped. Or you've met yourself in a situation where you were supposed to talk, whether impromptu or prepared, but your heart was racing. You weren't intelligible when you tried to talk. I want you to know that you are not alone. No. And that is why I said this webinar, you are going to learn transformation. This webinar is about transformation. It's about moving from wherever stage that you are to where you want to be. So if you have ever felt this before, if you have ever experienced this before, you are not alone. And this is a safe space. We are not here to condemn you. We are not here to criticize you. We are not here to make you feel as if you committed a huge crime. That is why we said you are not alone. It has happened to the very best of us. And in the course of this webinar, I myself will share my own personal story and my personal experience with you, and how I've been able to grow despite that challenge. Moving forward, I want to explain something. Why do we actually experience fear while we are speaking? Why does it even exist? Can't we just get on the stage? Let me just talk confidently. Why should I be scared? Okay, these people are human beings like I am. If you are a student, these people are fellow students, or these are my lecturers. We are human beings. Why do we then experience fear when we try to speak. Now, I want you to understand something. Fear of speaking, fear of public speaking is not a personality problem. If you can hear me, I want you to repeat that. Fear of speaking is not a personality problem. What do I mean by that? You are not born with it. You are not supposed to be, it is not supposed to be who you are. It is not personality problem. What do I mean again? It is not something that is your identity. No, it isn't your identity. That is why you need to understand that there can be a journey. There can be a transformation. You can move from point 0 to point 100. It is possible because it is not your personality. Let me paint a mental picture of what I am saying so that you will understand better. Now, if I say my name is Elizabeth, right? I am Elizabeth Akifenwa. That is who I am. That is my identity. Somebody cannot say, oh, boss say Ayomide. Boss say, I will not answer the person because that is not who I am, right? Exactly. So, whatever is not your identity, whatever is not your personality, you can drop that thing. You do not have to associate yourself with that thing. What am I saying? If you have ever experienced fear while speaking, if you have fear of speaking, you can drop that fear and embrace confidence. It is possible. So, and one thing you need to understand is this. Speaking fear or fear of public speaking is often learned. We learn it most times. You might be wondering, how is that possible? Yes, most times we learn it. And before I move on, if you are here with me, I want you to drop a comment, please. Either an emoji, drop a comment, let me know you are here. Thank you, thank you. In case I did not pronounce that name very well, I beg your pardon. Jamie is so, oh God, I don't know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hope you can hear me. Hope you can hear me. Thank you for joining. Thank you. Somebody is putting some comment. Thank you for joining. So as I was saying, fear of speaking can be what is learned. So that means if you ever learn how to have fear while speaking, that means you can also learn how to be confident while speaking as well. Yeah, I want to believe you can hear me. Hello, hi, thank you for joining. Now, so what do I mean? What do I mean by we learn fear of speaking? Let me give you different scenarios. We may not be able to exhaust every scenario in this webinar, but I will give you relatable ones. One, most times you are being shut down as a child. Think of probably when you were a child. Maybe you are the second child, and your firstborn is the quiet one in the house. Even if he's around or she's around, nobody will know. But you are a ball of fire. You're always questioning mommy or daddy. Daddy, why is this? Mommy, what's this? Mommy, why did you say this? Mommy, what's this? And one day, your mom could not even have it again. Keep quiet, you talk too much. Is that relatable? Or even in our educational system. I'm a teacher and I can actually relate to this. And that's why I said sometimes even our educational system can contribute to people having fear of public speaking. Let me tell you why. Can you relate to, hello, I'm writing the names of noisemakers. Yes, I've written it before when I was a student. Or a teacher would say, please, I'm going out or we are going for a meeting. Write names of noisemakers. Of course, we are not saying that you should be, we are not saying that you should be disturbing. No, we are not saying that you should be a disobedient child. That's not what we are saying. But what we are saying is that most times, even the educational system, even parents have shut down their children because they are just naturally outspoken. So that is one of the ways that you can learn fear of speaking. You are being shut down as a child. You are being laughed at. Have you ever been laughed at? Maybe you answered, you even struggle to answer a question, you raise your hand. It can even be the teacher. What are you saying? What are you saying? Just or students. You know, our students, how we can be. Because of that, you registered that experience. What about embarrassing school presentations? Maybe you were in secondary school. You were called to give a presentation. And what happened? You couldn't perform very well. And people laughed at you. Or maybe you grow up in a place where you have certain accent. And you believe because of that your accent, you are not supposed to speak. You are not supposed to speak. So fear of your accent or fear of making mistakes. Love Emmanuel, thank you very much for joining. Thank you. Hi. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. So these are the ways we can learn. These are the ways we can learn fear of speaking. If you can relate to any of these I have shared, I want you to type yes. Yes, I can relate. Let me know which one can you relate to. Is it embarrassing school presentations? Is it fear of accent or making mistakes? Have you ever been laughed at or corrected harshly? That's it. There's a difference between being corrected and there's a difference between being corrected harshly. Many people have been corrected harshly and they've registered that and they've already zeroed their mind that I can never speak in front of an audience again. I can never experience this again. This is too much. So do you understand that? So these are the ways that we have fear. We learn fear of speaking. And if you know, most children, if you are used to children, most children are naturally, right from when they were young, if you know, children are naturally inquisitive. It is when they are growing up, depending on the kind of environment they grow up with or they grow up in rather, that determine that fear. So some of them, if they are outspoken, right, some of them, they now grow up in an environment where they cannot even help them to discover that potential. Rather, they are being shut down. And a traumatized child is what leads to a quiet adult. An outspoken child that is shut down will eventually become an adult that will not be able to speak up in a corporate meeting, that will not be able to introduce himself in an event. That is what leads to. Now, so that you can know that this thing is possible, I'm going to share my own personal story with you. Thank you for joining once again. I really appreciate. You can, if possible, you can share this live so that other people can take part and learn. Thank you for joining once again. Now, my personal story, let me just share. I can call myself a naturally outspoken person right from when I was young. But you need to understand that for the fact that you are an outspoken person doesn't mean that you are a good public speaker, just by the way. So when I was in GSS1, I participated in my first debate competition and I think I did very well. And then some others after that. But I experienced my first stage fright when I was in SS2. It was really not funny. And I've shared this story countless times. If you followed my pages on my social media platform, I did 30 days communication challenge in December. And one of the days I shared this story. And also when I gave my icebreaker speech at my Toastmaster club, I also included the story in my icebreaker speech. Now, this is because it formed a vital part of who I have become now. Because I am the one who has defied the story. Because what happened to me could have shut me down forever. Similar things have happened to many people that because of that, they couldn't recover. They couldn't just face the crowd again. It was a Friday afternoon. Remember, I was in SS2. That means I was already a senior. And I wasn't part of the debaters, but I was randomly called. And that wasn't the first time even. That's the thing. I was just randomly called by a teacher to contribute to the program, to the topic. And as I got to the stage and I wanted to talk, my voice started to shake. My hands, they became sweaty. I couldn't communicate. I was not articulate. I was not intelligible. I stayed on the stage maybe for 2 to 3 minutes, but my voice was just shaking, was breaking, as if I wanted to cry. Imagine the scenario, a senior. I hope you understand. You can picture how embarrassing it could have been. But one thing was that I understand the fear, I understand the embarrassment, I understand it was uncomfortable, I understand everything that happened. But one thing I never did after that day was to make that experience. I didn't let that experience stop me. I didn't say because of that experience I was not going to talk again. Although, not that I sat down, it was now as I am older that I thought about it and I said, okay, how come I didn't let this thing stop me? I didn't know how I did it, because what I know was that after that time in secondary school, even in SS3, I still took part in some debate competitions after that. And when I got to university, I found myself in the debate club. I represented my department at the time. I represented my faculty. I represented my university. Yes, we went to CUIV, Covenant University Invitational, for public speaking and debate competition. Somebody that was embarrassed on the stage in SS2. What is the point of my story? If you can relate to this, you are listening to me, you've had that experience before, whether when you were young or recently. What I am saying is that you can rewrite that story. You shouldn't let that singular experience be the reason why you will keep your voice shut or why you will keep your mouth shut. If you think your voice deserves to be heard, you think you have things to say, you think you have a message that you have been sent to deliver, I want you to pick yourself up. Just look at, okay, what are the lessons you can pick from that scenario? Like when I was taking stock of that thing that happened just recently, as I am now older, I just felt, okay, one thing I should have done was that I think what happened was that immediately the teacher called me. Since I wasn't prepared, I didn't know it was going to call me, my adrenaline, and that's the thing that happened. Let me just digress a bit. That's what happens anytime you are faced with something that you are not used to. Let's take, for example, speaking in public. You are not used to it. There's a way your mind reacts, in two ways rather. Either it is called fight or flight mode. Fight or flight mode. The fight is, let's do it. This is what you can do. Flight is, your brain is telling you that this is danger. You've registered it, this is danger. Let's run. That's when you now start reacting. Your body is now reacting to that signal that your mind has passed. That is why, our mind can actually not differentiate between you speaking in front of an audience and you seeing a snake. If you have already registered it in your mind that speaking in front of an audience is a danger to you, your brain will already equalize it with you seeing a snake. If you suddenly see a snake now, what will happen? Just subconsciously, you start to run away. The same thing until you now tell your mind that no, speaking in public, speaking in front of an audience is not danger to me. It's what I want. It is what I love. It is something I want to do because I want to put my brand out there. I want to speak about what I do. I want to talk more about what I do. I hope you understand what I am saying. So you need to make that decision. So it is that decision that I made. I took stock of what happened. Okay, this is it. I think I should have calmed down when my brain picked up that I think I'm in danger. I should have calmed down. I should have paused. And that is why a lot of strategies, a lot of skills are needed for you to become confident speakers. Pausing is part of it. You don't rush, pause. So my point is that I didn't say that is all. I didn't say I'm not going to talk again. No, rather I picked myself up and I was what? I decided to what? To speak again. And look at me now. The girl that was embarrassed in SS2 is now somebody that is teaching, coaching professionals how to become confident speakers with results. Exactly, yes, I'm proud to say, with results. So just imagine, because of that scenario, I have said, I'm not going to talk again. How can I face people? People will laugh at me. Of course, they laughed at me that day. So what I am saying is that, please, that decision is something that changed everything for me. The decision that I'm going to speak again, even if it feels uncomfortable. And if you are listening to me and you are saying, oh, I want to, because I receive messages like that, I like the way you talk, or I want to be confident as you are, you can be, and you can even be more than who I am. I also have people I look up to. So that means you can be, you may not be me, but you can be the best version of yourself. I believe in you. Now, let's clarify something. Fear versus fluency. Remember, the title of this webinar is From Fear to Fluency. So let's clarify something that is important, which is what fluency is not. Many people think fluency is this, fluency is this. Unfortunately, they are not getting it right. Fluency is not necessarily perfect grammar. Somebody is saying, are you sure? Yes, I am sure. It's not necessarily perfect grammar. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't learn your grammar, you shouldn't learn your tenses, you shouldn't learn your pronouns, you shouldn't learn your punctuation marks. No, that's not what we are saying. But what we are saying is that even if that is a big challenge for you right now, you can be a confident speaker despite that. So fluency is not 100% perfect grammar. Fluency is not big vocabulary. No. Fluency is not you coming on stage, blowing up big words. We are not interested. And talking about that grammar, there are some people that have confidence. I may not be able to cite examples, but I cite some examples when I'm taking my private clients. There are some people that when you listen to them, I know a particular man, he's a popular person, a businessman. When you listen to him speak, because of the kind of background that he has, he's not so smooth, so fluent in this, but the confidence is there and the fluency is there. Also, fluency is not speaking fast. No. Many people think it's about speaking fast. No. Where are you rushing to? That is not what fluency is all about. You can hear me. I want you to put, what do I say fluency is not? I mentioned 3 things that fluency is not. 1, fluency is not perfect grammar. 2, fluency is not big vocabulary. 3, fluency is not speaking too fast. Now, if fluency is not all of these things, what then is fluency? It is clear thinking, also known as clarity, clarity of purpose, clarity of thoughts. You have an idea in your brain. It is you and your brain that know that idea. Fluency is you open your mouth for 5 minutes and you are able to communicate that idea in your mind to an audience. And then you ask your audience if they can relate or they understand what you just said. And they said, yes, that is fluency. That clarity is important. Clarity is important to fluency. You don't talk and we are looking at what is even the point you are trying to make. What is this person saying? What is the introduction? What is the body? What is the conclusion? Or you finish speaking and people are asking, has the person finished talking? Because the whole of your speech does not have introduction, does not have body, does not have conclusion. No matter the kind of accent you use to talk, you have not achieved what a good communication is supposed to achieve. And number 2, fluency is calmness while speaking. Be calm. Don't rush. Let your words land. Because when we are talking about public speaking, it is not about you. No, it is about your audience. It's not about you. It's about your audience. It's about, do they get what I am saying? So be calm while you are speaking. And the third and important thing that fluency is that it is the confidence to speak, to continue to speak, even when you make mistakes. Yes, you are going to make mistakes. When you leave this webinar today, you are going to try to do what you have not done before. And the mistake is going to come. But fluency is what? Is you saying, I'm going to continue speaking. I am going to continue speaking. I will not stop. I will not stop despite these mistakes. So fluency is not the absence of that mistake. Fluency is the absence of fear. Fluency is you speaking despite that fear. And hear this. Confident speakers are not fearless people. They are not fearless people. Even any time that I want to climb any stage today, that nervousness in your stomach still comes. But the difference is that I still stand and speak regardless. And when I get there, the confidence restores itself. So confident speakers, they are not fearless people. They are people who have learned how to manage their fear. And today, you are also going to learn how to manage your fear. Because it is when you can manage your fear that you'll be able to communicate confidently. Because the fear is going to come in one way or the other. Now, let's move to another important aspect in this webinar. This webinar is for both children and adults. And if you are a parent and you know that, you think, I don't really need it, you might need this webinar for your children. Because just like we have already said, we've said earlier, that we learn fear of speaking. For children, the way you correct them, parents, you have an unspoken child, don't even compare. Children, they are not the same. We are not the same. The way God creates everybody is different. Personality A is different from personality B. Maybe your first child, the one is calm, quiet, and then your second child, that one, always everywhere. You don't have to be correcting that one harshly. Oh, see, the way, just why can't you be like your brother? Keep quiet. You talk too much. No. The way you correct for children, the way you correct them, it matters. The way you correct them matters. Correct them with love. Correct them with love. If it is being outspoken alone, they are not rude, leave them alone. Just build that potential. Build that potential. That child has a potential. Build it. Build it. Let her be in debate club. Let her be in public speaking club. Buy books. Buy books. Buy her a recorder. Let her talk into recording. Give her topics. Let her talk. Let her express what herself. Being mocked or constantly interrupted can also damage confidence for children. Like I said, maybe in school, they are being mocked. So if you are listening to me, you are watching this webinar, you are a teacher, please Be a teacher with a difference. Be a teacher with a difference. Know the way you correct. And if you see that there are students in your class that mock others when they try to answer questions, stop them. Don't say they are just children. No. Some children internalize some experience and they never forget. Don't be the reason. Parents, educators, elders, don't be the reason why a child will carry the trauma of public speaking through adulthood. No, don't be that reason. Let those other children know that no, you don't do that. He does not get the answer, that's fine. He can try again. That's it. They don't laugh. They don't make fun of people. Somebody is speaking in different accent than you are. That doesn't make them less of a human being. The Lord creates us differently. So let them know, communicate that to them. Silence, when they experience this, one thing for children is that some children now internalize this. I know somebody that the same thing that I said happened to me, a debate, is the same thing that happened to this person. And up till today, this person struggles with public speaking. The person struggles with public speaking just because of an experience in when they were young. So you need to understand that some of these things is what most people carry to adulthood. And as from children to adults, you need to understand that the fear most times does not disappear on its own. No. And what most people do is that instead of continue to speak despite that fear, they will now avoid speaking totally. You know what it does? Avoiding speaking will strengthen that fear. It will strengthen that fear. But confidence can be rebuilt. It is possible for you to rebuild your confidence. It is never too early. It is never too late to learn how to speak confidently. So let's move to practical steps that you can use to develop yourself. That is why you are here. From fear to fluency, the real path to confident speaking. But all these things that we've already said before, we let you know. To really solve a problem, you need to go to the root of that problem. And I want to believe that I've been able to help you to look into the root. So sit down. Everybody's fear stems from different things. Yours may not be school. Yours may be church. I heard a speech from a young lady. Hers was a church. It was a church. And a Sunday school, I think she was to take a Sunday school or something. And that's how she flopped. So yours could be, just try and sit down. It's just like it's a psychological thing. You need to reprogram your mind as regards public speaking. You need to retell that story. You need to think, you need to remember those things that happened. Now, the practical step 1, practice in safe spaces. See, the saying, practice makes perfect, is very, very important in public speaking, because confidence grows where mistakes are allowed. You don't practice in a place where they will judge you critically. So practice in safe spaces, and you can create the safe spaces yourself. Your mirror, that's your safe space. A corner in your room, that's a safe space. That is a what? That is a safe space. So confidence grows where mistakes are allowed. Then step 2 is make sure you structure your thoughts. Anytime you want to talk, know your opening sentence. Know what you want to speak about. Know your opening sentence. Recently, many people are doing these 30 days of talking into my camera on social media. And one thing, I applaud everybody that is doing this challenge, because it is something that is good. Whatever you say, whether you make no sense or you make sense, people that are doing that, we see the change in their expression, in their fluency in the next 30 days. However, one thing that most people are not getting is structuring of their thoughts. Many people just talk the way it comes. Nobody says just open your camera and just talk. Not necessarily. It is possible for you to sit down. Okay, what do I want to talk about? What's my introduction? What is the story I may want to share? How do I conclude? You are still being authentic. But most people just open their camera and they start to talk. There's a place of planning. It's possible. So structuring your thoughts is also a way you can what? You can build your fluency. And we have so many ways, so many frameworks. I share many with my private clients. PSP, PREP, so many that you can use to structure your thought. That when you just remember a framework, whatever you are going to say will come. And step 3 is speak. Just speak anyway. That's why I said I applaud those people that are doing that challenge. Just speak. Confidence grows through action. It grows through action. You don't have to feel ready because, oh, am I ready? I want to be confident. I want to be prim and proper. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You become more confident as you speak. Let me use myself as an example. About a month ago, somebody liked an old post of mine on TikTok. And I went to that post, and when I opened the post, I saw the comment. I just started then, maybe my second or third, and then I was sharing English tips. Somebody even said in the comment section that the way you pronounce this word will not even make me to follow you. There were so many comments like that. The way you are even doing this, it shows that I wasn't really perfect then. But did I wait? I can't compare my video now to then. 2023 till now, I must have made more than 500 videos, not exaggerating. So imagine you speaking for more than 1 minute, nothing less than 1 minute for 500 times. Have you done that before you give up on yourself? You are saying that you are tired, you want to learn how to be a confident speaker. Have you practiced up to 100 times? Do you have 100 videos on your phone of your practice sessions? If you have not done that, you don't have to give up yet. Many people that you admire today, they grow to that word, to that level. And so you also can grow. So it's confidence, you become confident by speaking. And like I said, you speak anyway, you have structure. Believe in yourself. That's it. Believe in yourself. Your voice deserves to be. You don't have to let any fear overshadow you. No. Don't bow down to fear. Don't bow down. You are a student. You are supposed to have a presentation to present your paper. You wrote that project yourself. Why should you be scared of presenting it, of defending it? You are an employee in a company and you are scared of speaking up in a meeting. Have you forgotten the recruitment process you went through to get to that word, to get to that business, to that company? So that means you deserve to be in that space. So you shouldn't be scared to speak up. People there that you are scared of speaking in front of, they do not have two heads. There are some pep talk you need to give yourself when you are faced with things like this. And you know what? There is this saying, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. Yes, it's not really about praying alone, not about religious setting alone. Really, a closed mouth is a closed destiny. There is power in your voice. Your voice matters. Whether you are an entrepreneur, you need to communicate what you do to your customers, to your employee. Whether you are a professional, you work for people. These days, people want to know, what do you have to offer? What do you have to offer? Except if you do not want to move from one level to another. There's a kind of level that you will move to in a company that you will need your communication skill intact. Yes, I'm working with a private client who is the head of department in one of the big companies in Nigeria. So this person head of the path, unless you want to just be there, you don't want to be promoted. You don't want, because okay, when you become line manager, for example, you are going to have maybe 5 people under you. Imagine you are not able to express yourself confidently. How will you communicate to them? This is what you should do. Oh, you have not done this, you have not done that. You have team meetings. So as a team leader, you are struggling to communicate. Is it okay because if you perform very well as a team leader, they make you to become maybe branch manager from there? That is how it works. So you need to understand that this skill is not something that you can joke with, and it's not something that you can outsource. There are a number of things that you can outsource these days. You don't like creating content, you can outsource it. Get a content creator. You don't like designing, you can outsource it. But communication skill is something that you cannot outsource because it follows you wherever you go. So, and this is why I do what I do. This is what I do basically as a communication coach and as a public speaking coach. I help professionals to move from that fear to fluency, because trust me, confidence is not built in isolation. No, confidence is not built in isolation. You have recorded videos. Who have helped you to access that videos? Who has helped you? Who has checked that videos for you and say, okay, this is what you should work on, this is what you... So it's something that you can build through guided practice, through encouragement, through structure. You need structure to follow. So whether you're an adult, whether you're a child, your speaking confidence can be learned with right structure. And you do not have to figure it out alone. Just send me a DM. Go to my Facebook, my LinkedIn, Elizabeth Akifenwa. On Instagram, the English Academy _NG, the English Academy _NG. Or in this comment section, drop it. Drop your question. Let me know. I'm going to drop my email or my number in the comment section. Reach out. You need guided practice and you can get it. But one thing I've been able to achieve in this webinar today is that I've told you that your voice matters. I've told you that your fear of public speaking is not a personality problem. No, it is not a personality problem. That is not who you are. Don't personalize it. It is something you learned, maybe through childhood trauma, childhood experience. So as you learn it, you can relearn. Exactly. So you need to understand that your voice matters. And the world does not need more silent brilliance. Please. You are brilliant. But who knows about that brilliancy if you do not tell us that you are brilliant? I'm currently running my group training because we have a group training called the Confidence Mastery Accelerator. It's 30 weeks public speaking training. 30 days rather, public speaking training. And one of the participants of this January course is currently doing his PhD in one of the renowned universities in Nigeria. And he was sharing the reason why he joined the program. He said in his first degree, second degree, he discovered that he didn't used to talk anytime lecturer is in class. Unless they call him, he will not talk. He even said one time, it was a lecturer that called him that, oh, so you're a brilliant person. How come you don't contribute? So it's now at PhD level that he thinks he really needs to work in it. See, he's brilliant, but people need to know. He's starting his proposal soon. The presentation of his proposal before he now presents the PhD generally. Imagine he does very well on that day. Do you know who can be in that place that day? That will say, oh, I like your presentation. Will you be interested in this? And that is how opportunity opens. There's opportunity in you using your voice. You have a brilliant idea. You've been invited to come and pitch your idea in front of investors who are ready, but you are scared of public speaking. You are scared of facing an audience. Can you see? Money that you could have used to build that brand, to make more impact, just because of that tiny thing. I call it tiny thing. You just leave that opportunity on the table. So I want you to know that the world does not need more silent brilliance. It needs people who are willing to express themselves, and you can achieve it. Confidence can be learned. Don't let that fear define you. No, do not let that fear define you. Remember, you can learn it. In fact, in as much as you've already even, if you do not take anything away from this webinar today, the fact that you can learn confidence, you can drop fear and embrace confidence. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I am Elizabeth Akifenwa, and I'm a public speaking and communication coach. Thank you very much. I would really know if you have any question. If you have any question, thank you for joining. Love Emmanuel, Ejime Eye Esoji, thank you for joining. If you are there, just drop something. We are rounding up now because I do not want this to be too long, so that people that will watch the recording will be able to do so perfectly. They will be able to do so quickly and learn something. I want to believe you learned something. If you need whether group training or private coaching, reach out to me on any of my social media platforms. Thanks for the love. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Please, if you are still there, I just want you to drop a message, drop a comment. Let me know that you are there. Do you have any question? Do you have any comment? Do you have any question? Do you have any comment? Did you gain value from this webinar tonight? Would you be moving? Would you be trying out? Would you be speaking? Always remember, your voice matters. Your voice matters. There's a reason why the Lord gives us that voice, so use it. Don't just admire people. Whoever you are admiring their speaking style today, whoever you are admiring their confidence today, I want you to know this and know it for sure. You can be that person and even be more than that person. You can be the absolute best of yourself. That's one thing I want you to remember. Thank you very much for joining my first YouTube live. I am so excited, and I look forward to doing more on this platform. Yes, I look forward to doing more on this platform. I really appreciate those who joined. Some people joined earlier, they left. Some people are still here. Thank you very much. I really appreciate. Bye.